Hello all, welcome back to my live stream channel. To give you updates, I've been sick a couple days. Been battling a killer migraine headache. It's made me feel really weak and nauseous for a couple days. And there going to be some days where I'm going to take breaks off of going live stream. Instead of doing them so much like I've been doing 3 times a week, I'm going to start dropping it down twice a week, maybe Monday and Fridays. So I hope y'all don't get disappointed. It's just till I get more people to come in and stay on my live stream. There's no need to me keep doing so many of them. And I guess we're going to start back on Keeper. We're going to be on Chapter 5. Just like now, I'm waiting on some people to come in. At first, it took a few minutes as my base webcam, my Logitech wouldn't cut on, so I had to reset it. So here I am. And I thought some of y'all would actually be worried and concerned about me. There was only one person that was concerned about me. And he goes by, his name is Wayne. So thank you, Wayne, for checking up on me. Appreciate it. We're going to start back on Keeper. We're going to keep doing stories until we complete the book. And I hope you all enjoy this book as much as I enjoy it. We're going to be on Chapter 5. That's where we stopped at last week. You come in, make sure you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go get my cup of tea. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Make sure you hit that like button when you come in. And at least stay to 10 minutes on my live stream. Or stay till I'm done. I'm having my afternoon tea, so if you enjoy tea, cheers. So I'm going to wait until people comes in. I'm not going to wait as long as I did last time. And nobody comes in over being on here for over an hour, I'm going to exit out. I need more views and more people to come in when I'm going live. I'm doing good on the watch time. I'm gradually getting some subscribers. You all know my goal is to reach that 1,000. I done reached the millstone over 100. Now I need to get more to reach my 1,000. I didn't got enough watch time hours in this whole month. Last week I got over 300 watch time hours. Out of this whole month I got over 7,000. So I think I'm pretty much past the 4,000 mark. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and start, because y'all can always go back and play it. So I got a lot of stuff to do today, this weekend. Chapter 5. I slammed the door shut behind me. The door frame rattled, and the picture of me holding a hot pink fishing pole and a small catfish from the line fell off the wall. The glass shattered to pieces against the hardwood floor. Perfect, I muttered, massaging my temples. That's just freaking perfect. Perfect. As I bent and began picking the shards of glass off the floor, I couldn't help but notice the irony of the situation. The library had been a complete bust. Maggie and I hadn't found anything remotely helpful, and I had driven home with a knot in my stomach that grew bigger with each passing mile. Just like the glass, the shred of hope I had been clinging to, the one that told me we would find some kind of logical answer, was broken. I was out of ideas, out of clues, and very likely out of my own damn mind. A small silver glass sliced through the pad of my fingertip, and I hissed as a thick drop of blood rolled down my finger. I was still holding a small pile of glass pieces in my other hand, so I glanced around for something to stanch the blood. Here, Garrett walked over and knelt beside me, a box of tissues in his hand. Thanks, I said, wrapping the tissue around my finger. Sorry about the picture. Garrett shrugged. Brains can be replaced. He narrowed his eyes, looking closely at my face. You okay? I nodded. Garrett, can I ask you something? Of course. Should I tell him what if he thinks I'm completely nuts? I took a deep breath. Do you believe in fate? I mean, do things happen for a reason, or is everything just some cosmic hodgepodge of random, unrelated events? The words came pouring out. I studied Garrett's face for a reaction, but he didn't seem surprised or confused by the question. I think we all have a path we're destined to follow. The people we meet, the places we go, the things we experience. Nothing is by chance. He paused. However, whether or not we choose to follow that path is another matter entirely. What do you mean? A person's destiny isn't a concrete certainty. There are people who live their entire lives and never fulfill their purpose. Free will and choice, you see, are powerful tools of alteration. A simple choice can change everything. And that is true. You make that certain choice, you put your mind to it, you can make things happen. A person's destiny isn't, so when crazy things happen, I question, it is up to the person to choose how they want to react. And that choice ultimately determines their future, right? Y'all missing out on the story. I'm not going to go back. I'm going to keep reading on. Hello, silly mommy. For life, how's it going? It's been a while since I've seen you. Oh, I've been sick, dealing with a killer migraine Wednesday, all day Wednesday night before. I just had to take a break from my channel until I get healed up. I'm still kind of nauseous a little bit, but I'm a little better. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you're doing good. And it's Friday. Yay, it's Friday. How about that? It is Friday. Going back to Keeper on chapter 5. Exactly, Garrett smiled at me. If a man were told he might die on the airplane, then he could choose not to travel by air or take his chances. Either choice would drastically alter his future. Thus, the powerful nature of free will. Yeah, I know how that is. You've been in and out of ER. Oh, my. So what happened? What's wrong? What's going on? Hello, Wayne. What happened, hun? Prayers for you. I hope you feel better. It's like everybody's been getting sick lately with all this weather change and the quality of air. I nodded relief welling up inside me. It was a comforting thought, though. I still had a nagging feeling. But what if free will isn't part of the equation? Garrett raised his eyebrows. I mean, I could tell you what something happened that you had no control over, something that made no sense, something even free will couldn't stop. A strange a strange look passed over Garrett's face. Confusion, maybe? No prayers for you, silly mommy. I hope you get well soon. A strange look passed over Garrett's face. Confusion, maybe. Maybe? Well, there are, of course, some very powerful forces at work in the universe. He trailed off. Are you sure everything's okay? Did something happen with the test when you called? I thought you said you did well. Whoever come in, welcome to my channel, my live stream. We're having story time back on Keeper, and we're officially on chapter 5. When you come in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe my channel. My goal is to reach the 1,000 subscribers. No, the test was fine. Just have a lot on my mind, I guess. I swallowed. The future and all that. The lie came naturally. Real brave. Laney. Real brave. Garrett's face relaxed and understanding washed over his features. I keep telling you, kid, you have nothing to worry about. And you got time, you know. You don't have to have all the answers right now. Thank you, Wayne. And thank you for coming by to say hello to me. I appreciate that. It means a lot. I snorted. Don't you know me? I've had my life snapped out since I was old enough to make my first to-do list. That may be so, Garrett said with a chuckle, squeezing my shoulder. But your future is far from decided. That's what terrifies me. Just remember, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. Those choices are what will determine your destiny. Gee, thanks, Yoda, I joked, trying to ignore the knot in my stomach. You make it sound so simple. Simple it is, Garrett said, imitating Yoda's gravelly voice. Trust me, you should. I laughed and let him pull me in for a hug. Now what do you say? We get this glass cleaned up and order a pizza? Serena is on her way over and we can watch terrible movies and eat greasy carbs together. Now what do you say we get this glass? I like the way you think. I grinned. The knot in my stomach was still there, but the weight of it didn't seem quite as heavy. I stood up, unzipping the jacket. I hadn't yet removed. I'll go get the broom. Is the dustpan still in the pantry? I looked at Garrett. His shoulders were tense, and I couldn't read the expression in his eyes. He was staring at the handprint, now faded but still visible on my arm. Laney, he began. It's nothing, I squeaked. Maggie and I were messing around. You know how she gets. I forced our dry laugh. More lies? Serves me right for having as easily excited best friend. Maggie did that? Oh yeah, something about a new Adventures movie. She saw the trailer and freaked out. I sounded so sure I almost convinced myself. So the dustpan? Garrett stared for a moment before finally swallowing on the bottom shelf in the pantry. Right. I shuffled toward the kitchen. I pulled the broom and dustpan from their respective places and also grabbed a clean sweatshirt from the basket on the laundry machine. I threw it over my head, making sure the handprint was no longer visible. I'll tell you the truth. When I know what's going on, I promise, hoping to placate the guilt stirred up by all the lies. I'll tell them. I let out a long breath and walked back into the hallway. A forced smile plastered on my face. So the real question is, I said, cheese or pepperoni? Mom. I run through the darkness, my arms reaching and clawing through the blackness in front of me, but touching nothing. Mom, where are you? Her face appeared, the one that looked so much like my own, but the lovely smile I seen in the picture was gone. Her lips were curled back in a scream, her eyes seeing beyond me. Laney, she cried, run! I didn't wait to see what the danger was. I ran as fast as I could in the darkness, my mother's frantic voice in my ear. Run, Laney! I saw a spear of light ahead and I dashed toward it. It bobbled against the darkness and I threw myself forward, desperate to catch the light. I landed on a patch of grass. Trees surrounded me on three sides. In front of me was a large white plantation house. And standing in front of that house was my mother. Fear still danced in her eyes, but there was a calmness about her. Mom, I didn't understand what was happening. She stepped toward me, holding out her hand. I reached for her, but someone stepped out from behind me, getting to my mother before I had the chance to grasp her outstretched fingers. So David's computer's internet slow's not working. Mine was kind of messing up yesterday. Hello, David. How you doing? They're all right, I guess. They're normal today. Hopefully your internet start working soon. At first, my camera that y'all sent to me didn't want to work at first. It took a little bit to get it to work. But I went and reset it and finally come on. The bloody woman from the road turned to face me, her bright green eyes trained on my face. She held out a hand to me, the emerald amulet around her neck glowing brightly. Laney, leave me alone, I screeched, shoving past her. Mom! But my mother was already gone. Sweat poured down my face and neck as I sat straight up in bed, grasping for a breath of air. I gripped the wad of crumpled bed sheets and waited for it to fill my lungs. A few seconds passed and I could breathe, but I couldn't shake the images of my mother and the bloody woman from my nightmare. The photograph of my mother and father sat on my table. A silver stream of moonlight fell perfectly against. That's good. I'm glad y'all doing well. Against the picture, illuminating my mother's face. My eyes focused on the emerald amulet around her neck. What does it mean, Mom? I whispered, hot tears filling my eyes. What's happening to me? I sucked in another breath and fell back against my pillow, tearing my eyes away from the picture. I wish you were here, Mom. Come on, I murmured. Breathe faster. The next morning I stood bleary-eyed next to the ancient lime green coffee pot on the counter, gripping my empty mug like the jaws of life. I wasn't much of a coffee drinker, but on mornings like this, when exhaustion clung to me like a sack of skin, I made an exception. I hadn't slept well. No, that was an understatement. I hadn't slept at all right after I crawled into bed. The familiar black spots that appeared in my mind started alternating between flashes of things I couldn't explain and nightmares of my mother and the bloody woman. Yeah, it does. It sounds really good. By the time the images had finally faded away, I couldn't get my mind to shut off. Exhausted I was, depending on a cup or two of coffee to make me feel more human and less like a zombie. Refusing to wait any longer, I yanked the coffee pot out of the midstream. I ignored the hissing sound that the coffee made when it hit the burner and filled my mug. The hot liquid nearly scalded my throat when I took a few desperate swigs, but knowing the caffeine was working its way through my system gave me the jump start I needed. Back upstairs, I dressed without really thinking about what I was putting on. I was aiming for a comfort, a soft shirt, faded blue jeans, and red chucks. My favorite black Kardashian, however, was MIA. Swearing under my breath, I searched for an alternative. My eyes fell on the leather jacket lying on the corner of my bed. Ty's jacket. It was absolutely ridiculous, but I had slept with the damn thing. The scent of spearmint and leather had been oddly comforting when I finally woke from the nightmares. And it occurred to me that it might have the same common effect during daylight hours. So given that, I was feeling as cheerful as a cactus. I threw on the jacket and decided to hell with my sanity. A car horn sounded outside. I stomped down the stairs, grabbed my backpack from the landing outside. Maggie's yellow 74 VW Beetle was idling by the curb, the engine sputtering and coughing. I yanked the rusted passenger door open and plopped down inside, throwing my bag onto the back seat. Hey now, easy on the old Delilah. She is fragile, Maggie complained. Excuse me? I forgot your car is practically a senior citizen. Well, good morning to you too, Grumpy Pants. Maggie pursed her lips, trying to not laugh, and shifted to drive, the whole car vibrating and shaking. Sorry I'm late, but you know Delilah's not a morning person. It took a while to get her going. I rolled my eyes. Delilah was about as reliable as a tin can. Battery again? Yeah, it needs a new connector. I'll swing by Joe's house later and see how far a few bats of my eyelashes will get me. I bet he has some spare parts from his dad's shop. She grinned wickedly, and I snorted. You don't play fair. Joe's been in love with you since elementary school. Maggie shrugged. All's fair in love and car repair. I rolled my eyes again, but did manage to crack a tiny smile. So Maggie began after turning on the main road. I see we're going for the hot biker chick look today. The smirk on her face was one of pure and amusement. Oh, don't even start with me. I know it's stupid, but... Hey now, Maggie interrupted. You don't have to explain anything to me. If I managed to meet some gorgeous mystery guy in this town, I'd probably steal more than his jacket. She waggled her eyebrows. She finally managed to cross out the details. about my encounter with Ty, and had done little else but tease me about it. Oh, good gravy, I said, the tips of my ears growing hot. I didn't steal it. He left it. I'm just keeping it. I didn't steal it. He left it. I'm just keeping it for him until he wants it back. Keeping it warm, you mean? I groaned. I know it makes no sense, I said, pulling the jacket a little tighter around my shoulders. But in a strange way, it kind of makes me feel better. After the library and everything, knowing that we're no closer to figuring out what's going on, I don't know, I guess. I just felt like wearing it. That sounds really stupid, doesn't it? Like I said, you don't have to explain anything to me, Styles. Maggie smiled as she pulled the car into the student parking lot. Our friendship is no judgment zone. Besides, if the hot boy takes your mind off all the other crap, then I'm all for it. She drove down the aisles of the parking lot, looking for a space. Hell, he could have been a fragment of your imagination for all I know. But at least the thought of him is keeping you from freaking out. I called, nearly choking on spittle. Well, I can definitely vouch for the fact that he was real enough. Maggie looked over at me quizzically. And that ultimate spot in the long row of parked cars, dashing battling with the familiar hand-me-down cars and a bunch of rusty trucks, was a shiny black car. It wasn't a fancy model or anything, but it was easily the newest and nicest vehicle in the lot. And more than one person stopped to check it out on the way into the building. But it wasn't the car that made my mouth drop open in shock. It was the guy leaning up against it, because he was standing right over there. I cocked my head in his direction. Y'all know who that guy is? Who y'all think it is? He was standing there in a pair of loose blue jeans and a long sleeve black Hensley. He was facing the building and wearing a pair of sunglasses, but it was undoubtedly him. Maggie began to slow the car down, seeing an empty parking spot adjacent to the black car. Maggie, what are you doing? I shrieked, ducking down in my seat. I'm parking. Don't you want to talk to him? No, keep going. Are you serious right now? I never get a space this close to the building. Yes. Maggie stifled a giggle, but gave the Beetle a little bit of gas and headed toward the opposite side of the lot. Of course you realize you owe me huge best friend points for letting go of such a primo space so you can duck and cover from the guy you won't admit you're swooning over. I ignored her, covering my face with my hands. What is he doing here? Well, Maggie said, still trying not to laugh, you could ask him, but that will require actual face-to-face communication, and clearly you're not up for that. I turned and glared at her. Just tell me if you can still see him. Maggie craned her neck toward the window, looking back in the direction of the black car. No, I don't see him anymore. The bell's about to ring, though. Maybe he's already inside. Thank God for small miracles. Good. So are you going to explain what this sudden shyness is about? I mean, I thought you'd be kind of excited to see him again. I am. I think I am. I don't know. I just don't have time to deal with this right now. Maggie chuckled. Don't you at least want to talk to him? I thought of our previous encounters, and the heat from my ears spread to my neck and cheeks. I shook my head. No, I said, pulling my backpack from the back seat. Come on. We're going to be late. We headed inside, making our way through the packed hallways. I was fully prepared to dive into the nearest doorway if I had to. but thankfully there was no sign of Ty. At my locker, I crammed my books inside at warp speed. All I could think about was hightailing it to English class without being seen. I slammed the locker door shut, the metal clanging loudly, and hurled down the hall toward my classroom. I ran around the corner and sighed with relief when the class door came into view. Just a few more steps, and I could be home free. But my feeling of relief popped like a bubble when the familiar tenor of two little words broke through my thoughts. Nice jacket. I let out a squeal and spun around like a ninja, my arms up and ready for attack. Easy there, Karate Kid. Ty was leaning against a row of lockers, his arms folded across his chest, the corner of his mouth slanted up in amusement. What are you doing here? I asked, my heart's racing. I'm headed to English the same as you. I rolled my eyes. You know what I mean. What are you doing here at my school? Well, according to this, Ty said, pulling a crumpled schedule from his back pocket. It is our school. You go here? Well, Ty said, pushing off from the wall, my parole officer thought it would be a good idea for me to get a little education. Makes me look better to the judge. I sucked in a breath of air a little too quickly, in fact, which resulted in a small fit of coughing and sputtering. Parole officer? Are you all right? I waved my hand in dismissal as one last call shook my shoulders. Yeah. I managed my voice strain, allergies. I stood up a little straighter and tried to play it cool, though I was secretly hoping to freak a sinkhole would sadly open up and swallow me whole. Right? Ty watched me for a moment, a full grin of amusement on his face, before finally leaning forward. You know I was kidding, right? He smirked. I haven't talked to my parole officer in months. Oh, I shrugged. Of course, right. Ty chuckled again. Look, it's pretty basic. I'm 18 years old. If I want to graduate, I kind of have to attend this little establishments. Right. So you obviously just moved here. I mean, Lawbrook's pretty small town. Everyone knows everyone. That kind of thing. I haven't really seen you around much. Ty shrugged. I guess I make it a habit of staying out of the spotlight. Yeah, except for those random fights in the alleyways, I pointed out. Right? I'm amusing from the color wheel that is your face that is a pastime of yours. Ty laughed and a slight flush colored his cheeks, which in fact was covered in various degrees of fading bruises. Sometimes I make an exception. Excuse me. I resisted the urge to stick out my tongue. Geez, when did I turn into a 5-year-old? Ty's knack of answering questions with complete non-answers was getting on my nerves. Though, has anyone ever told you that you're kind of frustrating? Ty smirked again and moved a little closer. He smelled like laundry detergent. He leaned toward me. Not today, but it is still early. Narrowing my eyes, I put my hands on my hips, meeting his challenge. The tips of my ears blazed hot, though I wasn't sure if it was from my annoyance or his proximity. Behind me, someone cleared her throat. Miss Runyon, my English teacher, was staring at me from the door of the classroom. Miss Stiles, are you planning on joining us for class today? Yes, I am. Sorry, Miss Runyon. I dashed into the classroom and plopped down in my seat without waiting to see if Ty would follow. My seat in the back of the room was directly underneath the air conditioning vent, and despite the heat still burning my face, the cool air made me shiver. Miss Runyon led Ty into the room and pointed him to the direction of an empty seat. Ty caught my eye as he made his way down the aisle and grinned before settling in at his desk. I pretended not to notice. At the front of the room, Miss Runyon began giving directions for an uncommon, persuasive essay. The minor tone droned on and on about the rule of persuasive writing and how to make and argue of a claim. While she lectured, I made a violent effort to pay attention and stay focused, but my eyelids were drooping. The caffeine rush from the coffee was fading fast, and the insomnia-induced drowsiness was getting harder to fight. Using the briefy boy in front of me for cover, I put my head on my desk and closed my eyes. Just a few minutes to rest my eyes. Miss Runyon's voice was already fading into the background. Just a few minutes. And with that, everything around me faded away. And then on next week, we'll be on chapter 6, and it's called Josephine. Y'all have any questions, feel free to ask away. And I hope you enjoyed this chapter. This was a little bit longer than chapter 4, but it's getting more interesting as I prolong more through the book. And I hope you all enjoyed it so far. Just bear with me because I'm still feeling kind of weak, feeling nausea from the heat, changing the weather. And this has been the worst migraine I've ever had. I couldn't move Wednesday. I was laying around the whole day and everybody couldn't figure out what was wrong. I kept sweating. I got nauseated. I couldn't keep no food down. I tried. Everybody thought, well, maybe you need to eat something. I can't eat when I'm going through migraines. It makes me really nauseous. So, to all of you out there, I apologize. I haven't been on much. But to let y'all know, there's going to be a new change. I'm going to start doing my live streams just on Monday and Fridays. I'm going to need to take a little break. Just kind of a little break a little while. It's nothing y'all did. It's just me. It's starting to get warmer weather. So therefore, I'm going to need to do more projects in my yard. And get more things done out there. So, we're going to be doing a lot of family projects. We're trying to get money saved up. Trying to figure out what some trips we're going to take for the summer. It might be a month or two, but we're trying to set it up. So, y'all just be looking forward to seeing me on Monday and Fridays. And the way the internet's doing, it's a lot of people's connection. The internet don't do as good on some days, so y'all just bear with me on that. Just keep me in your prayers. And, it's been a while since I got those migraines. Boy, when it hit me like a ton of bricks. Hello, Dijon Sydney. How's it going on? Sorry if I didn't speak to you. I was getting done with story time. On Fridays, I do story time. How is your Friday coming along? If you're still here. The one owns the leather jacket. Yep. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Even though I still feel kind of queasy, I still made my way on here. I probably disappointed a lot of people like work, but nobody really asked about me other than Wayne. I know he seemed concerned, so I didn't know if I made people mad. Because a lot of people is used to seeing me on 2 and 3 times, sometimes 2 and 3 live streams a day, but I got to cut that out. It's just doing too much. It's draining me. It's really tiring me out. So I have to take breaks. So starting now, after today, on Mondays and Fridays, I'll do my live stream or maybe uploads. It's also has to do with my mood, how I'm feeling, how my internet connection's doing. It's a lot of reasons. It's nothing that y'all did. It's just I got to take a little setback for a little while. I'm still queasy. I'm not well yet, but my migraine's down, but I still feel nauseous. I still feel queasy on my stomach. I'm trying to get rid of that. Maybe it's a virus or something going around. I'm not sure, but I'm trying to get well. I don't get sick often, but when I do, it hits me like all at once. Really. It hits me all at one time. And I felt kind of nauseous just sitting here reading, doing my story time. I had to stop and take a break a minute. I got nauseous reading, but I kept going. Trying to block it out. It's rough. It really is. You had that problem before too? Your internet connection or feeling sick? But we'll be on chapter 6 next Friday. We're getting through there. This is one of still my favorite books. It's got a lot of dark, twisted things, but it's funny. It's got some laughter involved, but we're getting through it. And magic always leaves a mark. I just love that thing. And once again, the author, I don't get no credit for it. I'm just an owner of my own copy in my home, but it's by Kim Chance. You all order you a copy of this book if you haven't already. I ain't ate nothing all day. I'm trying to get over this queasiness in my stomach. I'm afraid if I eat something, I'm going to get sick to where it's not going to stay down. So I'm going to get me some ginger ale this afternoon because ginger helps nausea. I'm going to get some ginger ale and see how that does on my stomach. I don't like taking medicine. My partner tried to give me a pain pill for my migraine. I wouldn't take it. I sat there. It started from like night before, like Tuesday night, all day long, Wednesday night to about 11 o'clock at night. I took two Alees that morning, and it still didn't let up. And he's like, well, take this. I promise you, this is going to help you. I said, yeah. This hydrocodone's going to knock me out. I don't like to take pills if I don't have to. He tried to give me a warm rag to put on my head. That didn't work. Nothing worked. So I was trying to get myself situated and make myself go to sleep. Once I went to sleep and woke up during the night, of Wednesday night, it started easing some. But I was so weak for not being able to do anything much the earlier that day. So I'm gradually, slowly getting my strength back. Yes, she's dreaming a lot. Drink a can of Coke, that helps nausea. All I got is tea, Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew doesn't do good on my stomach. Until I get me a water filter, I'm not drinking water out of my spigot because all the toxic, the minerals and poison they're putting in people's water now. Until I get a filter put on there, I'm not drinking water out of that spigot either. I'm feeling a little bit. I'm still nauseous. I'm not 100% back on my game yet, but I'm a little better. I am a little bit better than what I was. I had to get me some of that later on. Ginger ale helps too. I like ginger ale as well. I don't hardly ever get sick, but boy, when I do, it hits me all at one time. I figured eating a lot of salads helps you. It cleans you out. I managed to eat some it's like a cheesy helper last night. That seemed to stay down. But I've not ate nothing all day yet, so I'm just gradually trying to get my strength up. It's going to take some time, but I'll get there. And I hope y'all had a great week so far, and y'all's goals and stuff is coming together, getting accomplished. I appreciate you, Wayne, checking in on me. It took me a little bit to get to your message because I've been trying to get all my chores out the way. Gradually got some laundry and some stuff done before I actually come on here. I try to get most of that done before I go live now. I don't know who that D. John Sydney is. All they said was just Lisa on there. I don't know if that's a troll, if that's a real person that come on here, but they went by D. John Sydney. So y'all using y'all's phones? Is that how y'all are viewing me right now? To y'all's phones? I'll be right back. Anybody comes in, bring them in. Make sure they hit the like button. My goal now is to reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm back. See, just a lot of people don't come on my live stream still. That's okay. Now my goal is to get up to 1,000 subscribers. I done passed the millstone of reaching 100. Now I need to get up to 1,000. I think I got plenty of watch time hours done for the whole month. But I think last week it said I got over 300 watch time minutes. Yeah, exactly right. She's dreaming. She's dreaming of all that. You're exactly right. It's okay. I'm just letting him know that I appreciate those who were concerned. You didn't know, you didn't know. It's all right. You're good. When did Wayne tell you? Today? Is that when he told you about it? So certain times there's nothing to do with y'all or the people. There's times you get sick or you get drained or something comes up and you can't always go live stream. But I try to give people updates when I do finally get back on here and let them know what's going on. A lot of people don't tell nobody nothing. They don't show up for weeks and days at a time. At least they give y'all updates. If it's not on my live stream, I'll leave a message and let y'all know. Y'all the only two really loyal ones that really watch me live. All these other people ain't really loyal. I'm starting to see that. But it's okay. It's all right. Thank you. I mean, this is a weird headache. Is there such thing as cluster headaches? You get cluster headache, you get tension headaches, migraines that hurt from here to right here at my eyes to right here. It kept going back and forth. It's like it kept switching. I couldn't even lay on my right side. I had to keep turning over. Oh, it was miserable. When I got up, I couldn't. I mean, it was just so bad that day. I know I'm about to go get my eyes checked out again and get some more glasses. Because these things ain't nothing but reading glasses. That's all they are. It could be my eyes straining so much. Being on a computer and stuff can strain my eyes. That could have caused it. I don't know. I get a lot of migraines. That's why I trim and cut my hair, hoping it helps it. Because the weight of your hair can also cause headaches. A lot of people don't know that. But the weight of your hair can cause headaches as well. I'm trying just to let the minutes go up a little bit, more watch time minutes. But I think I got well over enough watch time hours now. Now I just got to get more views and get my goal accomplished, reaching 1,000 subscribers. When I reach those 1,000 subscribers and get the more views up, then I can be able to go live on my phone. They won't let me do that until I pass those 2 goals. It is what it is. I'm doing the best I can do. Tea don't feel right either on my stomach. Trying to cut back down all the sugar intake. It's supposed to get up to 94 in my end. I try to get out there and get used to some of the heat. I got out there early this morning doing my laundry. I washed some towels and stuff today. I had to get out there like at 8 o'clock before it got so hot. Because you can't go out there and do laundry and work in the yard when it's that hot. They're having some kind of cool down, you know. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know I need to rest. I still feel kind of queasy. Heck, I could have probably caught a virus the same time with the migraine. I don't know. It's weird. It's just my stomach's kind of queasy a little bit. But y'all just keep me in your prayers and everybody else that goes back and reviews my channel. Because it takes time. The migraine is deceased right now, but from where I couldn't get up and get around, it kind of made me weak some. But I'm a little better. It's going to take time. I'll get there again. I need a lot of rest. It is a real person. That D. John person's real. She just said Lisa, and that's all it was saying, not hello or I enjoy your story. She just said Lisa. That's all she said. I don't know what all that was, but okay. I wanted to make sure she wasn't a troll or something. Yeah. I better get some more rest soon, but so y'all just hang in there and don't be mad. It's nothing against y'all. It's just I got to take it easy. I don't need to do 2 and 3 live streams a week like I was doing. Maybe twice a week, Monday and Fridays. Until, you know, our internet works better. It works when it wants to. But like earlier this morning, it just froze. It wouldn't even pull up nothing. So it works. It's got a mind of its own certain days. So I'm gonna go rest, maybe take a little cat nap. Let's see if that'll help me. But hugs to y'all, and I appreciate y'all coming on. Y'all didn't have to again. But I appreciate y'all coming on and taking the time to support me. And then silly mommy, she ain't been on in months, but she's been in and out of ER, so y'all keep her in y'all's prayers. She's been in and out of the ER for the past few weeks. having health issues. So y'all keep her in your prayers, please. And y'all have a great weekend. You can still leave me messages throughout the weekend. I'll check it. If y'all like to check in again on me. It was silly mommy for life. She's been in and out of the ER. So y'all keep her in y'all's prayers. Hugs back to you. You're important to us. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hugs back to you. And I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope I didn't sound too dead reading. Just so I say, bear with me. It's kind of rough. But I managed to get through it. And we'll be on chapter 6 talking about Josephine next Friday. And you all have a great Friday. If you like my story time, you see multiple of my channels, me going live. You like it, you like my attitude, feel free to subscribe to my channel. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers now. And make sure you hit the like button. God bless, and you all have a great Friday and a great weekend. Bye now.